Hello YouTube and welcome back to Jimmy Bob 25 Motorsports, and today we are here doing the Formula 1 review of the month of July. So don't forget to like, subscribe, do all that good stuff, you know what to do, and let's get into the video. So we start off a long time back at the British Grand Prix. Long time waiting for Ferrari Golden Boy. Charles Leclerc ended a brutal run of form with a commanding race win in the Grand Prix, British Grand Prix. He took the early lead only to briefly lose it during the pit cycle and then got it back. Kimi Antonelli was looking like to make a charge at him, but something on his car failed. So that put him down, all the way to P16, I'm pretty sure it was. That just says what I was going to say. Antonelli's title momentum in the mud. After getting the sprint win and the GP and the Grand Prix pole, Kimi Antonelli was set to challenge for the Grand Prix race win. But a left front wheel shield failure on lap 41 destroyed his charge. Because of the damage, he dropped to P10 on track with 5 seconds worth of penalties for track limits, which would later drop him to P16 because of the safety car that came out. Hamilton continues having decent weekends. Hamilton topped FP1 and the sprint qualifying, finished P2 in the sprint and ran strongly in the Grand Prix, getting a P3. However, a false start penalty, a pit stop under a safety car, and a post-race investigation for yellow flag infringements resulted in a reprimand. I don't remember what the penalty was for Lewis Hamilton, but yeah, I think he held on to his P3. Silverstone breaking records. Silverstone had an attendance of 564,000 people walked through the Silverstone gates, breaking the record for the largest crowd, which was set last year with 500,000 fans. That's a lot of people. Lego makes a return. The drivers recreated the 2025 Miami Drivers Parade with how they had the Lego cars. I actually personally enjoyed it. I don't think I actually watched the No, I did. I did watch that Grand Prix. So it was interesting to see them with the Lego cars. But yeah. This resulted with most of the grid trying to cut the track and getting beached in the gravel, including MBS. What a surprise. Final lap dash. Not. After Max Verstappen crashed out with 4 laps to go, and the marshals quickly cleared the scene, and my pronunciation is not pronunciationing. The marshals quickly cleared up the crash, and the safety car let the laps pass. and Carlos Sainz, which would later receive a unique penalty. On the 51st lap, we got the notification saying that the safety car will come in this lap. Right then is where my Chromecast crashed. Thankfully, I had a friend that I was talking to at the time who he told me this next part, and it's like, in the space of those, 5 minutes trying to get my Chromecast, oh, it was 2 minutes. In the 2 minutes trying to get my Chromecast back, it was a wave of emotions. Mind you, this is 2 a.m. in the morning? So, the joys of living in Australia, folks. But the safety car passed the pit lane because of Article 5.13.5, which states the safety car has to stay out for a lap and a half. Stay out for a lap and a half while the lap cars are going around the track until they can come into pit lane. I didn't even know that was a thing. I thought that it was just they go around the track like what Supercars does. If the safety car lets the lap cars go, then it's coming in this lap, I'm pretty sure. So, at least that's how we did it in the 12-hour, I remember. Yeah, because that's what caused that big crash. If you don't know what that is, editor, put it up there. It was a pretty major crash. Anyways, I'm just realizing I do not have Spa on this, do I? Alright, so after rectifying the issue, we are back. I've had to turn to AI for this one, for the next 2 races, so bear with me for a while. So yeah, let's get into it. So, number 1, Kimi Antonelli. Just Kimi Antonelli. That's all I have to say. No, we've got more here. Antonelli took pole by half a second, converting it to a commanding win, his 6th of the season and first since Monaco. He briefly lost the lead due to the VSC pit timing disadvantage, fought back to beat Leclerc by 1.9 seconds, and extended his championship to 45 points, and reinforced the narrative that he is the youngest ever F1 champion. Can't wait till the end of the year. That's all I've got to say. George Russell's heartbreak, collision and DNF. And Russell's weekend was a disaster from start to finish. He suffered from straight line speed issues in qualifying, collided with Lewis Hamilton at Le Combs on lap 1, spinning into the gravel, retired immediately, losing crucial championship ground. His frustration was clear, in quotes, or quote, one thing after another, not good enough, end quote. Lewis Hamilton would receive a penalty for that. As I'm going to discuss later, the FIA penalty system, or the penalties, aren't really good because the contact between Hamilton and Russell, that was purely a racing incident. Lewis Hamilton understeered a bit wide of the apex because he was in the wake of the car ahead, and then George Russell just happened to be there. So, and Lewis got a 5-second penalty. But later on in the race, Charles Leclerc would cut down in front of Oscar. No penalty at all, even though Oscar actually looked like he had really good pace before that damage. But it gave him floor damage, I'm pretty sure, which destroyed his chances of a podium when McLaren looked ridiculously fast around Spa and even Hungary, which we'll get into later. Ferrari pushed Mercedes hard. Ferrari were Mercedes' closest challengers all weekend. I reckon if the McLarens would have qualified better, they would have been up there as well. Leclerc pushed Hamilton. Yeah. Leclerc pushed Antonelli throughout. What is this wording? Charles Leclerc pushed Kimi Antonelli throughout the. I'm just gonna say throughout the whole race, even though that's not really correct, and nearly stole the win via the VSC timing. Yeah, okay. Lewis Hamilton finished P4 but carried a 5-second time penalty for the Russell collision and faced an unsafe release investigation. I think he would later get a penalty for that, or didn't he? I'm pretty sure he did, but I don't know. Verstappen's strong recovery to P3. Thought he got. Hold on. Oh no. Wait. Max Verstappen made a brilliant start, overtaking Antonelli into Eau Rouge, but couldn't hold the lead. He settled into P3, his third podium of the season, and continued Red Bull's inconsistent form under the 2026 regulations. Live and you learn. Midfield chaos and standout performance. Isaac Hadjar charged from the back of the grid to P6, one of the drives of the day. Lando Norris climbed from P13 to P7. I thought he got higher than that. Hold on. Gotta check that because I swear. I swear Lando was up further, but turns out Oscar had pace and Lando didn't apparently. Audi's Gabriel Bortoleto scored P8. Arvid and Franco completed the top 10. Gasly, Lawson, and Hülkenberg narrowly missed out on the points in a frantic final lap fight. The biggest talking point of the whole entire... Okay, got distracted. My bad. The biggest talking point of the whole entire thing was the 2026 regulations at Spa. Drivers complained that the 2026 power unit rules made Spa feel neutered. That's a new one. I didn't this is one of the ones that I did watch. I got on my calendar each year. Don't care what time of year it is, I will watch the Belgian Grand Prix and the British Grand Prix. Those are the two most historic races, and then if I can watch any more races, that's just a bonus. But doesn't really help that the FIA had 4 straight line zones. Yeah, alright. It did make the cars go a bit faster, and it did make it harder for the drivers to keep the battery, which is good. We want the drivers to be challenged, but like, yeah, the racing did feel a bit stale. Not as stale as what Monaco was, though. Like, we all expected Monaco to be better. It was not better. Energy management limitations reduced flat out running at iconic corners. Eau Rouge and Raidillon. Yeah. Alright, you can say that. Yeah. Analysts argued the cars and circuit were no longer a natural match. Cars and circuits have natural matches. Yeah. Okay. So now we go on to the Hungarian Grand Prix, which was week and a half from when I recorded this. And we had a surprise win. Yes, finally. Still a Mercedes powered car though. Lando Norris, McLaren and Lando Norris returned to winning ways. Lando Norris delivered McLaren's first win of 2026, converting pole into victory despite losing the lead to his teammate on lap 1. His pace was clear. His place was in... Oh my god. What? His pace in clean air... Why can't I speak? Was exceptional, and he became the first non-Mercedes driver to take pole that season. Yep. Sounds about right. So yeah, really happy, but what we're about to see next is... Yeah. So, Oscar Piastri's race unravels, contact plus gearbox failure. Piastri led early, but his race collapsed after contact with Carlos Sainz while lapping traffic. I'll get onto that later. And apparent gearbox failure that forced him to retire and triggered a VSC. This flipped the intra-team battle, which we're all hoping for, and handed Norris control. We'll come back to the Oscar one because there is a lot to unpack with that one, and there's more as well. Max Verstappen salvages a podium in survival mode. Verstappen reported his car has felt completely broken in qualifying, yet he finished P2, marking consecutive podiums in the first... Sorry. Marking consecutive podiums for the first time in 2026. He benefited from a grid penalty from Hamilton and Antonelli. Red Bull lacked outright pace but executed a clean race, so that always helps. Moving on, Antonelli extends his championship lead. Antonelli finished P3, strengthening his title advantage. Mercedes' reliability issues continue to be a theme. His consistency contrasted with Russell's misfortune. Oh yeah. Russell's race was ruined immediately. Well, George Russell's nightmare start. Russell's race was ruined immediately. Anti-stall triggered, dropping him from the top 10 to 21st. He recovered to P7, but the early setback cost him crucial championship points. I'll look at that in a minute. Ferrari fade after early promise. Ferrari looked strong entering the weekend, but couldn't convert. Hamilton and Leclerc ran 3-stop strategies. Hamilton received a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane, costing him a podium. 0.1 of a kilometer over the speed limit. I thought that the FIA was strict, but holy man, that is a different type of strict. Leclerc finished P4, Hamilton P5. Midfield standouts. Isaac Hadjar scored P6 for Red Bull. Lawson got P8. Lindblad P10, another double points finish. Audi, Nico Hulkenberg P9. And the Aston Martin duo got, if I just quickly go to Hungary, got P13 and P14. Everybody celebrate. Holy man. Lando lapped all the way up to P8. Wow. So, actually, let's get a look at the standings real quick. And I'm not going to show me that because it's too early in the morning to do math. Kimi Antonelli, 219 points. Lewis Hamilton, 169 points. Someone do the maths. I can't. I'm recording this at 7:30 in the morning. I am not doing maths that early. But yeah, so blue flags were an issue this weekend, because the FIA had a failure in the blue flag system, so they were only relying on handheld wave flags and the electronic flags. Carlos Sainz apparently he didn't see it, but he should have, because he got told over the radio, and he got and he passed 8 blue flags when Oscar came up behind him, and then down into turn 2, he must have thought that Oscar was a battling car on his lap, and cut down in front of him and cut him off, sending him onto the gravel or onto the grass. Oscar did recover, and kept going, but and Carlos is not saying sorry because who knows what. So it just comes into question sometimes, the drivers. Oscar was pissed. You don't really hear much of Oscar getting angry. He was angry. So yeah, that's the thing that sucks about this whole thing. But yeah, and then Oscar putting salt in the wound on lap 56, I think it was. He did retire from the race. So yeah, that was not that. As an Oscar fan, that was not good at all. Because he did look like at least P2. Like, Oscar was having a brilliant race. So I would have loved to have seen him try and chase down Lando. So anyway, guys, this is where I'm going to end the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. You know what to do. Subscribe to Jimmy Bob 25. Subscribe to this channel. And we will see you in the next one. Goodbye.